TWR Thirsty Thursday, and Lotto Pics.
I'm on it. Hey, you know I'm on that though, man. Y'all, come join it. In the traders' war room, warring with the market every day. We on Zoom. Never gonna quit. Ain't no way we gonna lose.
TWR is your one-stop shop. How'd TWR do today? Going to start the recap off with a loss I took today. I went ahead and went bearish on SPY, and man, as soon as I got in, it just reversed 180. I was looking for continuation, and it just reversed on me and just took off. So went ahead and cut that real quick and ended up taking a $70 loss per contract on that trade. So it doesn't happen very often, but you know what? I am human, and we do lose, but it's all just part of the game. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do something a little different. Let's do a teaching point. I'm going to walk you through this particular trade so that you guys can see where I made my mistake at, and hopefully you can gain perspective from it. I don't like taking losses, but it's part of the game. However, losses are great teaching tools so that you can learn from your mistakes so that you don't repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again consistently. All right, so the trade was on SPY, and definitely I saw it coming down, and we were below our moving averages, and this was on a 5-minute chart, and I went ahead and got into the trade after we had a brief period of some consolidation or tight, price action. And I went ahead and got in where that yellow arrow is at, and I was looking for continuation to the downside. Hindsight, of course, being 2020, this is where I should have cut for profits. However, I was expecting after that green candle, I was expecting more downward trending for potentially another leg down to a lower level. This is where I was hoping to exit out of off of a 2-leg strategy, but as you can see, the trade reversed on me very rapidly, very quickly, and so I ended up having to cut losses. Losing half its value up there at the yellow arrow, I went ahead and waited just a little bit. It peaked down, came back up, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and accept defeat on this one. It's not trending in my direction, and my money could be utilized somewhere else or in a different trade after the chop was done. Now, had I thought about it, I probably could have averaged down there, and then on the dump that came just a few moments later, each of these candles are 5 minutes, so about 30 minutes later, I probably could have escaped out on the downward pressure with profit or at least at break even. However, I went ahead, cut my losses, and went and found some other trades. Now, let's go ahead and get into some winners, right? American Airlines, $124 per contract, where I closed out a full position. We had a high trim of $127 per contract. Nice round trip trade. GM was a great trade. We almost hit the 2x on it. We ended up peeling out full position at $39 per contract. Our high trim was at $44 per contract. Great round trip trade. All right, the next trade that we had was Microsoft. We went ahead and exited full position at $34 per contract. Now, this one took a little bit long to materialize, and I got some hate by some members on this one, but you know what? Patience pays, guys, and I tell you this all the time. You got good conviction, you do your DD, you do your homework, and patience pays more often than not, guys, and we ended up taking this to the bank today. AVXL, we went ahead and closed out of this position, $28 per contract. We had some nice gains, and we wanted to roll our capital into some other trades that potentially had faster and better earnings. Now, I did end up buying shares on this one because it was such an appealing price, and the shares I'm going to hold for, looking at maybe 6 months to a year, see if we can double our money on those. Sava, we went ahead and secured our runners today at $34 a contract. Our high trim earlier in the week was $123 per contract. So this was a bombastic round trip trade, guys. No complaints here. Great gains. And finally, Osh, we went ahead and cashed out at $28 per contract with a high at $38 per contract. Nice little trade right there. No complaints. All in all, assuming, of course, one contract per trade at least, $287 profit and loss. Now, this is on the low spectrum of it because if you were in multiple contracts on any of these trades, your yields would have been higher, guys. So I promised you $100 to $1,000 per day is possible with Traders War Room. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, guys, and I lead by example. Join the team and come trade with me. What's hot and what's not. Here's how your markets closed on the day. Started off with some bearish intent, and then we kind of hit a little bit of a choppy road, rose up towards midday, and then kind of fluctuated a little bit and ended up coming a little bit down, but closed green for the day across all major indices. Currently, the futures are looking red, so we're primed for a lower opening. However, you know as well as I do, we don't get the true numbers until pre-market, so hopefully we start to lighten up a little bit and we can get that bullish push that we all want to close out the week extremely strong. Sector performances, majority of everything was green. We're going to pay attention to healthcare, utilities, and consumer staples because those have been red or close to red for a while. So we're looking for hopefully some rejection from these current levels and potentially reversals in those sectors. Here's your flow. We're looking pretty bullish on the flow as far as volume is concerned. So definitely hoping to close out this week with a bang, and we'll definitely look towards seeing if we can get some good traction with some of these bank earnings. And we got a lot of tech earnings coming up as well. So we'll see what the market has in store for us, and we'll ride the momentum and play the trend. Dark pools, of course, we got SPY taking the big lead. QQQ is coming in. We also got some Netflix and some Tilt, and Amazon is in there as well. So we're paying attention to some of the blue chips and also some of the fast-moving ETFs. Here's your top gainers, and these are the ones that have my eyes as we're closing out this week and maybe looking towards next week. I'm watching Arrival, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Carvana. Seen some short squeeze candidates, and you know as well as I do from all that GME fiasco and the AMC fiasco that some short squeezes can definitely move very quickly. You've already started to see it on the Bed Bath & Beyond, and we got some other ones that are in the works as well. So pay attention to these. We might be able to make a decent catalyst type of move. Top losers, and you guys know as well as I do, what I like about the losers is the potential rejection from bottom and recapturing some of the losses that incurred when it took the dump. So here's a couple that I got my eye on as we go through the market, closing out this week and into next week. And I'm watching HYMB, Logi, and HKD. These are things that moved pretty decently. They lost a little bit, and they got some volume, or they're short on volume and moving on a big price, which could be a catalyst for a decent little jump or regain. So I'll be paying attention to these for some rejection down at bottom, and hopefully they might see some remnants of reversal to the upside, and I can catch that wave. Some unusual option activity, and I got my eye on a few of these. Any of these, when you're looking at unusual option activity, they're always decent ones, and you can find some diamonds in the rough. However, you gotta kind of wade through the storm and kind of look at certain ones. So I got my eye on these ones, and I think that these would be potential movements and possibly swing trades over week and going into next week. American Airlines, we had a fantastic trade with the call. We might be looking to go ahead and ride the put side of the house. Volume is spiked on it. Disney, this one's kind of 50-50. It had a nice run up, but what Disney typically likes to do is it likes to run and then it likes to dip back down. So they got some issues with management as well, so Disney could fall. And JPM, banks have been fire. This is all counting on some earnings that are coming into play next or tomorrow, actually. Some of the banking earnings are going to start. So we'll see what we kind of get, and we could potentially get a nice little catalyst move here on JPM. They seem to be poised for a push and a breakout to the upside. So we'll see what happens when the bell rings. And your top trending stocks, and definitely some of these are the ones that we paid attention to. And so I'm going to be going over some of the charts on ones that I like, but any of these ones here on the ticker are definitely what other people are looking at as well. And these can all poise an opportunity for some decent moves based off of volume and price action. All right, let's get into some of the news. Top news, Bitcoin hovers below 19K as crypto liquidations hit 200 million. Guys, crypto is starting to get liquidated heavy as Bitcoin rises. So definitely we could still see a little bit more of a rise on the crypto world, but we're probably looking for another cool down period. So I'll be looking to probably go in on coin and go for a short position, pushing out a couple weeks, and I think it'll materialize into a decent trade for gains. Next up, Goldman Sachs is telling people to bet on steel commodities and base metals. He sees them as outperforming in 2023. They also state that quarter one is going to be difficult because of the ongoing issues over in Europe and Asia. However, they're seen to be, more of a outperformer than in the battery materials and thermal coals. So definitely we'll pay attention to that. And here's a few tickers that are along these lines. Here's some of the iron and steel type of stocks that you'll be wanting to look at. The ones that I'm highlighting here are the ones that I like to trade and that I'm used to, but definitely getting into some of these will be fantastic movers and shakers, and you can get into ETFs and a basic material ETF as well. All right, and finishing up on the news, the FAA cites personal failure and system outage that halted the flights. Basically, the breakdown in this pilot error system was the result of damage to data filed by personnel, according to preliminary analysis. Apple CEO Tim Cook is going to take a 40% pay cut. That should improve margins a little bit. The iPhone maker said in his filing that Mr. Cook recommended the reduction. And cattle shares rise after upbeat profit forecast. So the battery maker shares rose after the company said its 2022 net profit is expected to rise over 80%. So definitely a few things on the horizon that are a little bit bullish, a little bit bearish, but definitely something to look forward to. Stocks I like for trades. All right, so the first stock, of course, we're going to go over SPY. Guys, my plan for SPY is simple, all right? If we start to peak above this area and we get the continuation to the upside, I'm going to go long on the stock, and I'm looking for the push above 398, 399 on its way to 400. That's my plan. I think that the call will be more probable than the put. And if we do start to backtrack down to the downside, I'm looking for a close below 395.50. That'll give me the indication that we got continuation to the downside, and we probably can roll with a swing trade over the weekend for some puts. Next one is Carvana. I like this one for potential squeeze play. And it looks like we want to go back up and travel towards that 830 area. So if we get the volume pushing to the upside, we'll go ahead and go long on this one. However, be very cautious with this because just as quick as it's going up, it can come down. And so I got that bottom level trigger. If we start to close below that 735, probably safe bet that we can swing to the put side over the weekend. So we'll just play this one by the ear and see what the bell gives us on this ticker and follow the price action and the volume. Amazon looking really nice for potential play on this one. I got that top level and that bottom level trigger, but I'm more looking towards the upside on this one. So I'm going to be looking for some long plays, and I think if we get the push to the upside, we can easily breeze right past that 96 area on our way to 98. Bed Bath & Beyond, this is typical squeezed looking chart right here. So you got to be cautious with this. We could still have some more continuation to the upside, and it could easily squeeze on its way going to $7. So definitely we can't take this one out of the ballpark, and we got to pay attention to it. But the squeeze could be subsiding a little bit, and people are taking profit since they've been in since like $1.20 and stuff like that. So we'll be paying attention to this, and we got the top level and bottom level trigger. We start to close below that $5. You got to respect the trend, and you probably need to go short on this because it could go right back down to $4 in no time. I like Dallas for a potential continuation trade. A lot of the analysts have $45 price target on this particular ticker short term, and that could give us a decent little $4 to $5 move to the upside before we cool off. Now, the airlines have been running hot here recently, so I would expect a cool down coming. However, we might be able to get some more volume if we break this current top level, and that could shoot us right up into our range of $43, $45 that we're looking for. So we'll play this one by ear, but if we start to cool off, guys, that $39 area is the first test, and then it's just down by segments and laddering down. So we'll play this one by the momentum, follow the trend. But if I am going to make a betting call on this one, I'm thinking we got a little bit more to the upside that we can see. And finally, banks, man, they are a hot topic right now. JPM is poised to be an outperformer. It got a price target on it of 145 short term, so that could be a $5 push to the upside. We got some bank earnings coming up on Friday, and this is definitely going to be a make or break catalyst for the banking sector. So we'll be watching this one, but JPM, I'm bullish on it, so I would be thinking we get a little bit more to the upside, and we'll break potentially above that 140.85 area, and we could easily push decently hard towards the 143, 145. Upcoming TWR classes. Our next class is already set, guys, on 22 January, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Traders War Room is going to teach you how to scalp the market using basic indicators. Our instructor is a 35-year veteran of Wall Street, former Wall Street broker, and he's on Traders War Room to spread his knowledge and show you guys what has amassed him a fortune over the past 35 years. Yes, this class is a must for anyone who loves to day trade, is looking to day trade, or really just wants to learn the indicators that are proven effective for consistent profit. Registration is easy. All you got to do is go to traderswarroom.com/upcoming classes, click the button, pay $15, and you're signed up. Oh, and by the way, you get to keep the recording because we want to make sure that you have tools and reference points so that you can be successful far long after the class is done and moving live. So I hope to see you guys all in the class on 22 January at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And as always, and we want you to build that plan to go attack the market and utilize TWR classes to make the market bend that knee in 2023. Join the TWR Investment Club. Check out our free chat to learn more. That's it, team. Don't forget, make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war.
I'm on it. Hey, you know I'm on that though, man. Y'all, come join it. In the Traders War Room, warring with the market every day we on Zoom. Never gonna quit, ain't no way we gonna lose.